What's up, good people? Welcome to Miles from India. Alright, so for my new people here to this channel, I am India, and for my returning peeps, what's up? And listen, I'm gonna give y'all all the props. Thank you for continuing to come back to just watch me and listen to me with all my tips and shenanigans. Anyway, of course, I really appreciate the support. So for my new people, if you're new to this channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. Show your girls some love. I drop a new video every Tuesday. All right, so let's get into the video today. So, I was thinking over the last couple weeks, last year in October, I did a half marathon and it was not a good race. So I said, you know what, let me do a little recap on that because some good things are coming and your girl signed up for a distance race and I'm a little nervous about it, but I'm super excited. All right, so let's start here. So of course, not every one of my viewers are runners that also race. Some of you all are interested in getting into racing and running. So this video can be used for you as well. But today I want to talk about what it looks like to have a bad race or a bad run and basically how to recuperate from that. I had a really bad race, my last half marathon, and I actually have not raced a distance race since then. And I had to really check myself and say, you know what? The reason why you haven't run a distance race since then or even signed up for a race is because you're still kind of in your feelings about the last race. But let's talk about how I got over that and what you all can also do to kind of get over those bad days or those bad races. First thing we have to accept is that not every race or every run is going to be a great race. I think sometimes as runners, we get out there and we feel like every single race we should be PRing. And for those that aren't sure, having a personal record or personal best, PB or PR, means that the last race or run that you did it again, the same distance, and made a better time. Now, for those that have been running and racing for a while, some of us get into a funk and we feel like those races and runs, every single one I should be better. But realistically, that's not gonna happen. When you go out for an everyday run, every run is not gonna be great. Anything could be happening. Stress in your life, you may not be feeling good. For my ladies, your cycle might be on. Stress, not eating enough, not hydrated, the heat and humidity, which we know is still going on here in Atlanta and everywhere else. Right now the temperatures are dropping in some areas, but it's still hot outside, y'all. So these runs may not be the best. So 6 things that you need to do in order to get over not having a great run or a great race is number 1. First of all, mourn that race. So my race was the race 2019. It was a half marathon. It is a race that is put on for us, by us. My good friend Tess is the race director for the race. It's an amazing race. I had run the race before. I had a run coach. I had everything set up, and y'all, the day just did not work. It was one of those things where I got to a point where I just could not push. My legs wouldn't turn over. My body was not physically there. My friends were coming back to see what was going on. My phone was ringing. Like, it literally was just a very bad race day, and I just could not get it together. And I think for me, the reason why I couldn't get it together is because I really had a lot of pressure on myself to do better and to have a personal record or PR or PB on that day. I announced it on my podcast. I had trained up for months for this race, and I just really think my anxiety got the best of me, and my mind, which we know that running is mental, my mind took over and my body just would not follow. So for one, I want you to ensure that you are taking a moment to mourn that race. For me, I was super embarrassed. I had people waiting for me. I had people announcing that I was gonna have a PR. It just was, y'all, I was so embarrassed. And when I literally was running across that finish line, I looked back at those pictures and literally my head was hanging down. I just couldn't look at people because people were looking for me to just like kick behind, and that did not happen. I literally finished 30 doggone minutes after my goal time. No, actually 40. Yeah, 45 minutes. 45 minutes after my goal time. So that's a huge deal. The second tip is that I want you to find the silver lining in everything. There is a learning experience and silver lining for everything. For me, my silver lining with my situation was the fact that I finished that race. It may not have been the time that I wanted to be, but I finished. There are people that go out here and do DNFs, which is do not finish on races, and everyone can have a bad day. I luckily was able to finish and cross that finish line, get my medal, finish that race, even though it wasn't the time that I wanted to. My silver lining and everything was that I finished, and also that I had so much love and support after that race. People were cheering me on, people were clapping me in. And it was just almost like I just had so much love that I just didn't know. People that were cheering me on that I didn't even know. I personally did not know. So it was just great to be able to have that and to know that, you know what, there are people out here cheering you on. No matter what the outcome is, you still have amazing supporters. And I really appreciated that. Now, once I got through those 2 steps, I said, you know what, let me analyze what I did wrong. So for me, it was literally, I think, telling a lot of people, boosting it up. I didn't realize how bad my anxiety was in regards to that. A lot of people were kind of getting to my head, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do awesome, you're gonna do great. And I let those things get the best of me because I said, you know, I really wanna execute. I wanna prove them right. I wanna prove myself right, that I can do it. But I just think that it ended up hitting me in my behind because I just let those things get the best of me. It also was a cycle weekend. So I should have thought about that. Now I have the ability to look at race dates and see when my cycle would be coming on. So because a lot of times the energy, a lot of times the energy that we have, and when we're on our cycle as females, it drains us, and we just have to realize that biologically stuff just happens, and that's Mother Nature. We can't do anything about that. So number 4, take the time off from training. Take a time, analyze it, don't get burned out. So after that race, I didn't get right back into racing. I didn't even get right back into running. I took a couple weeks off before I started to run again. And I said, you know what, I don't want this to take away from something that I really enjoy. But what I did was I took time off, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna do whatever it takes for me to refocus my mind and really think about and really allow my body to have a break. Because I was training for 3 months with the coach that was pushing me, and rightfully so, because I needed it. Now, number 5, during those downtimes, I figured out my why. So I said, let me reassess why I'm doing this. Why am I distance running? Why am I running at all? Why am I doing races? Why do I love doing what I'm doing? Why do I love going through the process? So for me, I figured out my why, and I said, you know what, that's my why, and I'm not gonna let a bad day or bad race day hold me back. So once I got through all of that, number 6, I actually said, you know what, let me make some small goals, meaning shorter goals that may not be 3 or 4 months worth of training, but shorter goals to help me get to where I needed to go. So for me, I did set some shorter goals. That included some smaller races that I did some amazing times with before all this COVID stuff started happening. And then also just transitioning my body, figuring out what needed to be done physically and mentally to like reassess how I can get back into that place to be a distance runner again, or to get on the starting line for a distance race. And for me, distance racing is considered anything 10 miles or above. So some people may say half marathon or half marathon or a marathon. For me, it's 10 milers and above. That I have gotten through all of those tips, all of those like levels of things. I am now ready to sign up for my first distance race in a year. It's been a whole year. Now, of course, COVID has stopped me from, doing a lot of it, but I'm really excited about it. And I am signing up for this race here, the Atlanta 10 miler. Now, of course, this is the shirt from 2017. However, when I did the race and it had a different course, but I'm super excited to be running it again this year on November 1st. And yes, they're going to have a lot of COVID-19 precautions. I know some of y'all will ask what the COVID precautions they are going to do. Of course, they're going to be doing temperature checks. There's only allowed to be 25 individuals at the start line. They actually make you sign up for an actual start time, and they are capping the number of people that can be in that wave and that start time. They are capping it out at that, and then of course the race is not super big. It's going to be a smaller race. You also have to bring your own water and container to be able to fill up. They are not doing they're not doing services to where there's a water station to where the Atlanta Track Club is actually giving it out. Since unfortunately no spectators can come either, but that's the COVID era. I'm not sure how much of this is going to happen going forward, but I really appreciate Atlanta Track Club for taking the time and also just doing what they can to kind of keep racing alive and just doing it in a way that can be appreciated through this COVID experience and then keeping us safe as well. Let me tell you guys, I had so much anxiety when I was signing up for this race. I'm like, okay, all right, India, you got this. Go ahead and press send, and you're gonna do this. And I really had to get myself together to say, you know what, I'm going to do this race. I'm gonna hold my head high. I am in a different place mentally as well as physically. I am definitely healthier than I was last year, and I'm really excited to take on this challenge of doing this 10-mile race. So of course, let me tell you a little bit about this 10-mile race. So this race usually is in Midtown Atlanta. It goes from Atlantic Station through the city. However, this year, because of COVID-19, they actually are doing it on a race course in Braselton, Georgia. I am super excited about it. Now, I'll tell y'all, when I signed up for this race, I didn't know the details of everything. I knew that it was gonna be on a track, a racetrack, and I knew that it was gonna be in Braselton, but I didn't know everything else. Y'all, this last week, Atlanta Track Club released their Wingfoot magazine, and within the magazine, it literally said Extreme Condition Edition. I was like, oh my gosh. I had to put my big girl panties on, signed up for that race, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I am not gonna allow the description of the course to kind of take me away from what I really want to do, and that means to not only get over my last half marathon that was not the best, but also just to get back into racing and knowing that I can do it. So I am really excited. I am ready to do it. I am ready to take it on. Last week was my first week of training, and I am super excited about it. Your girl did 6 400-meter repeats, and it didn't take me out. I will say the last time I hit the track was last September, and it just really was a good time. But track work will show you exactly where you are when it comes to your fitness, but you gotta love it. And so I hope you enjoyed those tips in regards to getting back after a bad race or even a bad run. Just really take your time, do this for you. You know, for me, I'm like, India girl, you ain't getting paid for this. This is for you. So just get yourself together, get back out there, set your goals, and crush them the next time. And I think that's how we really have to think about it. The ultimate thing is that we have to stay positive and know that we can do this and keep it moving. And I'm excited. I'm gonna do some check-ins with y'all for this 10-miler and let you guys know how my training is going. And of course, on race day, I'm gonna bring you guys along. Okay, so that's it for the tips today, and a little bit of personal excitement for me of what I have going on. Y'all, I'm so ready to race again. Thank you so much for listening to this video. For my new people, don't forget to subscribe. For my people that continuously watch but not subscribe, go take care of it. Go subscribe down at the bottom. Definitely give your girl some encouragement down in the comments. I'm super excited about it. Of course, I am a marathoner. I have done 2 marathons, 14 halves, and several other distances. But when you haven't done it in a while and it's been a year, and you gotta dust the cobwebs off and get it going. But anyway, subscribe below, hit me with some comments. Let me know if there's anything you would love me to discuss, and I will see you guys in a week. Don't forget, I post a new video every week on Tuesdays on this channel. And also hit me up on my social media. And of course, y'all know I can't go without saying I am also a podcast host of the Run Do It podcast. Definitely check me out there. We post bi-weekly on that channel. We interview runners. We talk about different topics that are happening in the current world of running and racing. And I'm just super excited. The content is very different than what it is here. But we all know not everybody loves YouTube. Not everybody loves podcasts. So wherever you like to receive your content, come get it from me. Thank you, and y'all have a good week.